What's up, everyone? Welcome back to our channel. And in this video we are in Jekyll Island. So on this trip we've gone from the Georgia High Country to the Georgia Low Country, and we're going to stay on this island, but we will explore it. And there is one outstanding spot that we're going to show you guys, and that is what Jekyll Island is pretty much most famous for. So sit back, relax, and check out Jekyll Island with us. Oh, before I forget, it's October, late October, and you still need bug repellent here. There's not a ton of mosquitoes right at the campground and at your campsite, but outside of that, you definitely need bug repellent. There's a lot of mosquitoes here. This Jekyll Island campground where we're at is a private park, and it is meticulously maintained. It's big, beautiful, wooded, full hookups on every site, and they do have tent sites as well. We've been here before a couple of Julys ago, and it was relatively empty, but right now it's really full because we were told there's a huge shrimp and grits festival. I don't know when, maybe today, tomorrow, I have no idea. But the campground is supposed to be packed. Now it's full where we're at, but right along this end, it's nice and comfortable. But even though it is really full, there's really room between you and the next site, so it's not uncomfortable. You're not piled on one to the other just like you see at a lot of these private campgrounds. But it's not cheap, but it is well worth staying here. All right, we're going to go visit the Dubinion Cemetery. It's a small cemetery from a family that at one point owned all of Jekyll Island, and they were obviously very prominent. So here's one. Hector de la Llanes says he was a native of Smyrna, and he drowned on Jekyll Island March 21st, 1912. And this is George Harvey, and the same thing with him. He drowned on Jekyll Island, same date. Right across from the street from that small cemetery is the Horton House, and the Horton House was, here's Jenny with her ghost app, claims that she found a bunch of ghosts in the Horton House. But here is the Horton House, and so he was a very prominent figure here. He was not only a military officer, but he pretty much was the main guy in Jekyll Island. He got here in 1736, built this house shortly afterwards, and died a couple decades later. So let's go inside and check it out, and let's see if we find any of Jenny's ghosts. So you can see what materials they used to build this, right? So it was a lot of shells that are super abundant here in the area in Jekyll Island. If you look out here, talking about Major William Horton. So at first it doesn't seem like a very big house by today's standards, but back then this was a big deal. This was a nice place. There was a fire here that consumed the house, so all that's left is just the bricks and the mortar and that kind of stuff. But this is where they had different beams to support the different floors and different parts of the house. And here is talking about Tabby. And Tabby was the building material for the walls, floors, and roofs that was used a lot during the military and plantation eras in Georgia, it says. And it was composed of equal parts of sand, lime, oyster shell, water mixed into a mortar and poured into forms. And obviously, it definitely passes the test of time, because this house, other than the damage from the fire, is in pretty great condition. Look at this view. This is so beautiful. Now to us from South Florida, this looks a lot like the sawgrass from the Everglades, but this, my friends, is not the Everglades. You can see the big old bridge that you cross to get to Jekyll Island in the distance. And you got some tidal creeks, and you got the marsh. We have more Jenny confirmation that there's ghosts here. Look, let's look at the app. Let's see what the app says. Look at all those ghosts right there. The radar. Tons of ghosts here. There's one next to him. Let's see. There's nothing next to him.
Me tiró la foto sola. Mírala, mira el humo. Ya sabe las piernas y todo.
So that smoky stuff is supposed to be a ghost. Wow. So now we are in the area of the Jekyll Club, and this is the area where some of the wealthiest and most powerful people in America had second and third homes, and they would winter here. So we're going to take a little bit of a walk around here and show you guys around. There's a trolley tour that you can take out of the Mosaic Museum. It's $20 per person, and it's actually excellent. So if you have the time and you're in Jekyll Island, pay those $20 and get that tour done, because it is definitely worth it. This cottage here, called the Cottage, this thing is huge, is the Goodyear Cottage, and established 1906. We're all familiar with Goodyear. We're not going to go through every single cottage here, but just want to give just a quick overview of the exceptionally cool and beautiful homes here. that were part of the original Jekyll Island during its heyday. This one was established in 1900, called the Moto Cottage, and we can't go in, but of course they're all exceptionally well preserved. And here we have what's called the Indian Mound Cottage. This one was built in 1892. And as you can tell, a lot of these are very colorful, and almost all of them are 2 stories. Actually, they're all 2 stories, but again, exceptionally beautiful. Now here is the that event, that grits and shrimp event that we were told about earlier today. And we won't be attending that because Jenny and I are severely allergic to shrimp, but they tell me it's the biggest one. I don't know if it's in Georgia, Jekyll Island, in the world, what it is, but they're getting ready to party with shrimp. All right, we got one more house here before we take a look at the Jekyll Island Clubhouse. This one is massive, 3 stories, beautiful. But let's not make you guys wait. Let's go look at that Jekyll Island Clubhouse. Well, here it is. This is the crown jewel of Jekyll Island. The Jekyll Island Clubhouse that was built in 1888, and a very famous architect was hired to design this. And upon completion, they had spent a total of $45,000 to build this incredible clubhouse and resort. $45,000 today barely gets you a car. But back in 1888, got you this beautiful, beautiful building. Let's see how good the tea is. This is real tea. This is not something out of a can. This is really good.
Sweet.
It's very sweet and excellent. Yeah, really sweet. All right, so we're gonna visit the Faith Chapel now. It's a small little chapel here on Jekyll Island. But if you're here, it's definitely worth spending a few minutes coming in here. We're gonna try to see if it's open, because really that's the highlight. The inside is small, but it is absolutely gorgeous. So let's check it out, see if it's open. got gargoyles up there. You got the little chimney, small chapel, but this is just the cutest thing. It looks like it's open, so let's see. All right, we are halfway through our tour of Jekyll Island. And again, this place is so worth coming to, spending some time here. But we're not done yet, so stay tuned. Pop some popcorn, kick your feet up, and let's check out the other half of Jekyll Island. Here we are at the center of Jekyll Island, and this is where they have all the stores and shops and restaurants, liquor stores, sunglass places, you name it, it's here. There's a couple of ice cream shops, and just on the other side of that are some big dunes, and the beach is right on the other side. So we will check it out, but first, let's check out this little shopping district. All right, Jenny wants to go into the salt table, and it's a salt store of all things. All kinds of flavored salts and salt mix and all kinds of stuff. You got olive oils, sunflower oils. Let's go into Jekyll Market because we need to buy milk for tomorrow, and we'll check it out. Pretty much anything you'll need, you'll find here. All right, everyone, I told you I would save the best for last, and I have. We are now at Driftwood Beach, and Driftwood Beach is actually a really amazing place. This is all the effects of erosion, and eventually the salt water creeps in has killed these trees, and the trees have either petrified and stayed here. Some of them have drifted off with the tide. But this is a really famous spot because they filmed not only the movie The Menu, but they actually filmed several scenes of The Walking Dead here. And that's actually more famous than the movie, is that series, The Walking Dead. So check this out. This is really cool. This is where people come to take wedding pictures and all kinds of stuff. This beach is always full of people taking pictures, videos, all kinds of stuff. Check this out. Wait, what was that? Oh, you said that it looks like there's good fishing here in Jekyll Island? Oh, well, I'm glad you mentioned that because we just so happen to be at the fishing pier now. And they do have a fishing pier, and they also have a bait and tackle shop. And let us show you around. So here you have your fishing tackle shop, your bait shop. Really, really cool shark thing there. Fortunately, they're closed now, but we can check out the times, buy your bait. And there's a tidal creek up ahead. I don't know if you guys can see it in the distance. There's a blue shrimp boat leaving so they can do all their shrimping. So if you come to Jekyll Island, make sure you bring your fishing rod and a lot of hope. Let's see if you guys can catch redfish and all kinds of stuff. When we were here a few years ago, there was a guy fishing some rocks just to the left of there, and he caught the biggest flounder I've ever seen. And when I asked him about it, he admitted that's the biggest flounder he had ever caught. He was bouncing a jig and a little rubber worm off the bottom. So there you go. Captain Mo's fishing tip of some waters he has no idea about. So here is the northern end of Jekyll Island, and then you have St. Simons Sound and then St. Simons Island. And you can see the lighthouse, big American flag, some big, enormous, beautiful homes. We've never been there before, but that's on our bucket list. Well, what a better way to end our trip here at the Jekyll Island. It's been incredible. It's been a lot of fun. We love this place. There's a lot to do here. And if you are somewhere on the coast of Georgia, definitely spend some time here at Jekyll Island because this place is amazing. It has something for everyone here. Well, thanks for watching, and stay tuned because we got more adventures coming because fall is not over yet.